Hello, visuals, and welcome back to the Visual Guyz podcast. I brought up a load of phlegm there. So, right, Chris, I swallowed it. I felt the mucus slide down my throat. And welcome. Mate, you can't be disgusted. We're about to talk about fungi and stuff. Tell you who is a fungi.
That's fungi. It's different to fucking mucus.
Do you know, we're doing The Last of Us episode 4 and 5 spoiler review.
Yeah,
4 and 5. Around work, right, because everywhere around my work's damp because we have to wash concrete constantly. There's loads of little bits of like mould in that, and it's like spores coming off it. And ever since this show came out, I keep walking up to a little Richie going, look, The Last of Us. There's a bit where we have to put the cement in the mixer. There's a little shed bit there with shit like dangling off it. I always look up and go, The Last of Us. And it was raining last night, and a bit of the water from it dripped to us. And I was like, Last of Us. That's all I keep saying now is when I see that, I go, Last of Us, Last of Us. It's fucking nuts.
I'm guessing you're enjoying the programme then.
Oh, mate, I'm fucking absolute. It's just pointless. Not pointless. I have literally seen every part of the game completed multiple times by multiple different people. Like, I know the full... Did you not see that thing I shared you before on Facebook the other day? Saying, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, I only know because you fucking told me. But I mean, in your defence, I did ask. But, like, I would have been one of the people in the top Pedro Pascal frame, like, yay! But now I'm the bottom one because I know you. You've got me sucked into this weird and wonderful... fabulous world. But Last of Us episode 4 and 5. Hopefully you remember a lot of it.
I do.
Thank God. I've rambled a lot and I keep bringing up loads of spit now, Chris. So I'm going to spark up a fag and drink some brew. Well, ignore number 5 for the first part. We'll just talk 4 and then we'll go on to 5.
Yes.
So episode number 4, Chris.
We obviously leave Bill's place with the truck.
And we see the magazines, you said?
We see the magazines, yeah. And then we start heading towards the city. And as predicted in the game, we get ambushed and there's a bit of shooting going on, which goes on for quite a while, to be fair. And obviously,
I know now. I've watched it.
Yep. And obviously, towards the end of that episode, we bump into Sam and Henry, which again is in the games. But in the games,
they are in the games.
In the games, Henry isn't mute.
Oh, he's not deaf?
No.
Oh, right, okay. Because the little actor that plays him's deaf in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was different. What also was different is meeting Kathy. Because Kathy, you don't get to meet this leader. You know there's a group of people out there that will just slaughter everybody that comes into the city and then that's it. But you don't get to meet Kathy.
Right, okay. So you just hear her by name, maybe? Or
Kathy is a kind of a new character that...
I hated her. I'm so glad she got what's coming to her, but carry on.
A lot of people slated her, to be fair.
She did a good job. It was, I need to explain this. People get confused with, and I hate actors.
Yeah.
I hated her because the character, like the Miz in wrestling, everybody hates him because he's fantastic at being the bad guy, annoying cunt. Yes. She was fantastic at being the fucking...
She was.
But carry on, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a new character in the series because we just know there's a tribe of them out there that just...
So they're not Firefly people are out there? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
They took the city over from the government or whatever. Fedra.
Yes. And then drew all the non-believers underground with all the runners and the stuff.
Yeah, because they were hidden. Because it took a while because we saw the ground bump. And yeah. Oh, that was so fucking...
I know.
We'll get to that in episode 5.
So obviously we have to, again during the games, you've got to sneak around them, try and make your way through the city to get to the bridge.
Yeah. So the same plot is the same. Oh, I do know because I saw the side by side video where you get to the bus or whatever it is. It's is it a wagon or a bus? It's a wagon, isn't it? That's in the way they're going under the underpass.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw that side by side. You reverse back up and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's all that comparison. So yeah.
What about the joke parts, mate? The world went nuts when Joel finally smiled. What's what did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? It runs in your genes.
Again, that's in the game.
Well, you said from day dot that they're going to try their hardest to be parallel, and she's telling me, I'm getting nipple on. She's telling these jokes, and he's just, and eventually gets and I'm like, she's bringing him out. She's bringing Joel out a little bit more, just for him to fuck off. Carry on.
Yeah, it's episode 4. I enjoyed. Really enjoyed.
See, that's what I wanted to ask you last week. Last week was the two brothers, because oh my god, again, we'll get to that episode 5. I fell in love with them straight away, but they were hiding from her because they were
He was an informant. He was on both sides.
Because obviously the people that got captured are all the people that used to run the show.
Yeah.
They took him over and whatnot, but he did it for valid reasons because he was
Henry.
Yeah, because he had leukemia.
Yes.
And he wanted. Is it leukemia in the game as well?
Again, you didn't realise he was ill in the game.
Oh, right.
So
what's the significance of them in the game? What do they help you with in the game?
Again, does this help you escape?
Oh, so they're on this, and they don't. I take it they don't die in the game.
You don't find out why they're on the road or anything else.
Why the fuck would they do that to us then? If we don't know they die in the game, why the fuck would you do that to us? Stop making me fall in love with people. At least The Walking Dead dragged it out with fucking Abraham and all these people and Glenn. It took us a while, but he's like, you really love it. Fuck you. Fuck off. But I loved it because obviously I thought, and I loved as well. Sorry, I said we'll get to episode 5 soon. But they filmed the same shot from 2 different views, like the Pedro and Joel fighting. Yeah. But you also in episode 5 saw it from Henry's point of view. But yeah, I thought when they come into town and they saw the guy limping, and Joel knew straight away.
Yes.
And then I was like, well, that's their fault. They've started this fight. Who are these pricks? And then we get involved. And it turns out the guy with the big beard, you probably already know this, is the guy that voices Joel's brother in the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I thought was quite cool. They've given him a role.
Yes.
Even though he gets fucked up. But I was like, who the fuck are these pricks? And then I'm glad that the show, like The Walking Dead, it was fine with. Like, it was bang on their saviors last. I like that the groups are getting taken out straight away. We don't have to spend episode upon episode upon episode, because I just want to get more to these big badass threats, and we'll get to it in episode 5. But yeah, I thought, you're a dick. But I guess in a way she was justified because she felt wrongdoing because her brother was killed.
She killed him.
She killed her brother. Whatever it was, yeah, because she was upset that her brother died and shit like that. And they felt like they had their justified reasons, but the way they went about it was completely wrong. Yeah. And I thought that they were completely well done. Even the guy who was Joel's brother in the game, voice actor, the big beard guy, even he sort of had a few like, are you sure about this? Should we not deal with this? And I love the fact that she was so busy on dealing with her own issues, they were forgetting this underground issue with the grounds moving and that. I'm like, okay, what's on there? The building is on. And I just loved more this episode, in particular, episode 4, of this more relationship building between Ellie and Joel. And the fact that you could tell he was looking after her was when the moments when they're in the woods, he goes to sleep. And I could be wrong, but to me it implied that he actually never went to sleep. As soon as she nodded off, he just stayed up and just kept guard. And I was like, you care for this girl, don't you, Sonny? You fucking really do. That's why you're going to break my fucking heart soon. I'm glad. I'm kind of glad, though, that... No, I'm kind of not glad that I haven't already experienced his upcoming death, because at least you're numb to it, I guess, because you've played it for you're ready. I've already seen it. I've never experienced it visually whilst being interacted the whole way through. But yeah, episode 4 was just more about this bond forming and growing. And
yes,
even though the actress is still doing my head in a little bit, she just looks. I don't know, something about her. She is doing a fantastic job, and I love her childlike innocence and her want to explore and play, and oh my god! But as well, this you can correct me. In the game, it's different, isn't it? Because Joel is not actually not that fight. The guy that jumps him, it's actually a twist around. Because in the guy in the show, he comes out from behind, doesn't he? And he gets Joel down by surprise. But it showed you it different in the game. How did it go in the game? Correct us, Chris.
Well, you don't get to see Ellie shoot
until
later on.
Yeah. Yeah, but in this thing, because she took the gun and he finds out and whatnot, and they're like, be careful with that, you shoot your ass off.
Yeah, you don't get to see Ellie with the gun till later on. In this scene in the game, it's just you just see some shooting about, and then obviously you take them all down. Yeah,
which I bet's quite fun to actually sit and play, and which I feel like I've lived in Britain, Jacksepticeye and all that fucking smashing through. I've watched all the boysies do it. Yeah, I loved how it was just a a bond growing episode. If there was no infected in this episode 4?
No. Episode 4 just mainly consistent of the people in the city.
Who was the old guy with the brothers? Who was that? Was he the one that was in the attic with them?
I don't know, because he's not in the game.
Right, so right. I love the fact that the older brother give the little boy his face paint, mask to make him feel like a hero. He has little bags of crayons and shit. Honestly, I fell in love. So tell you what, we'll just jump straight to episode 5. The part that proper broke me, not just him having to die, like his brother kills him and then kills himself, was how Ellie was like, I've got magic blood, it's fine, I'm going to save you. And she, oh, don't, mate. Don't say bless her, because I was fine that you... And she's like, yeah, it's all fine, and wakes up and you're like, no, why is this happening? Why are you doing this? And that's what I wanted to ask you, but now you've cleared it up. I was like, is that like in the game? But no, it turns out it's not, and that bit broke my fucking heart.
That little section with the blood thing, that's not in the game, but waking up in the same room with him and then him just sitting there, that's in the game.
Right, and it would explain is why they need to kill her for the anti-whatever.
Yes.
Because obviously, as it's proved, it doesn't just work that way. I'm assuming they need to synthesize the blood or whatever it is, science shit they need to do. But it was heavy and hard and heavy hitting, and I did like the bits where they're all going around and mate, the interaction, the bit where Joel say it's fine, where you're not going to do anything, he's like it's fine, and you're like, because they're on the deck and he's got the gun over him and he's like it's fine, he's just got an asshole attitude sort of voice. So I was like, because Pedro was like he probably at that moment in time, if she'd ever said out or done anything, he probably would have got up and killed them, I'm assuming, if that didn't play out the way. But she's like, it's fine. And you're like, oh, you really don't sound trusting a minute, mate, just calm down. And his gun's got no fucking ammo in it or anything. No. And the way them two met, because that's how episode 4 ended, didn't it? Was them two.
Them two, episode 4 ended with them two standing over them two. And me and Sam, Ellie and Joel. And obviously we continued from there, where they kind of like, right, I need to get out of the city, you need to get out of the city, let's work together, I know where we're going. Kind of.
You know how to kill shit.
You know how to kill shit. Let's fucking do
this. Yeah, and I love because it did a good job of building the tension up. And towards the end, when they get there and they see all the cars coming, there's this sniper guy.
And again, that's in the game, because you've got to.
Well done, creators of the show. Well done.
In the game, just to come back a bit, in the game when you go into that room where all that kids shit is.
Yeah.
Ellie and Joel get separate, so Ellie goes with Sam and you're stuck with Henry.
Oh, so it's the two, Ellie and the
young boy. So you end
up
with the little boy.
And you're with the little boy.
Yeah,
right.
So they kind of get separated. So I was like, look after him. So we've got to do some
What
shit.
caused them to get separated?
Clickers.
Right.
Some clickers are come running through.
Right, okay.
And then one of the doors shut and they can't reopen it. So they go one way and they go the other way.
Right, okay.
And then you've got to do, as you're playing Joel, you've got to do some shit, get rid of some stalkers.
And then
the first time you meet stalkers, and then obviously you meet up outside, and then that's when you head towards the bus and everything else. Yeah,
right. I'm with you. So there's a little bit more before that. Well, I suppose
before that.
For the show it makes sense, but for the game you need more playable moments. It's fine.
And obviously, and then after that, obviously, then you start heading down into the little town section.
Yeah.
And again, it's like in the games, you're playing Joel again, where you've got to sneak through the houses to get to the main house at the bottom with the sniper.
What moment of the game is that? Is that a quarter, halfway through, near the end?
I'd say that's probably about halfway through.
I still makes sense, because what is this, 9 episodes of this, and we're pretty much the halfway mark. Okay, so they are on the time.
So they are pretty much
what city are they in?
That's just a little town. Wait there, because we go from Texas, where they all start, over to Boston, where it's thingied, and they're making their way over to Seattle.
Yeah.
So
somewhere in between there.
Yeah, somewhere in between.
It also again broke my heart in episode 5 where Joel gets behind the sniper guy and he says, "Please don't, don't," because throughout we saw he was very human and lovable at the start, and we saw it, like again we'll go to that shot in episode 1, dead in the eyes, like his humanity's kind of gone, he's got no care. But where Ellie's sort of revitalising that a little bit and burning that flame with him and being human again, and the emotions, and he's like, and he has to take him out. Because I was a bit confused when that happened with this. I was like, oh, is this just a masked guy living on the outskirts on his own? Just what's going on? But it turns out he was working with whatever the fuck her name was. And that bit got twisted. And it, again, about the emotion building and attaching to each other. When all the runners come out the ground.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
In theory, the runners didn't come out the ground in the game, and neither did the bloater. The bloater doesn't exist on that bit.
Okay.
Or even that ground moving, it didn't exist there.
Right, okay.
Like I say, the first time we met that bloater, it should have been in the school with Bill getting the battery.
But because they went a different route with Bill, they've obviously...
Yeah.
But I love the bit where he's doing everything he can to pick all these things pick everybody off Ellie because all they were chasing, like get one away
Yeah.
from Ellie, get one
Like I
away
said,
from
that
Ellie.
bit's in the game, just not the
That
runners
bit
come
was
off the
fucking-
ground. There
and
is
it was-
runners that come down, and they come running down.
We might as well jump straight into it. That because again, it went from a not slow in terms of slow boring, like just a slow build, getting out of the city, bit of tension, to the they're all out because it's the car crash that caused the building to collapse and the ground to
Yes.
and the hard like how they all just come out and the people were swamped straight away. They were done.
As soon as I heard the sound of the blow, that was it. I was like, yes, that's the game.
Yeah, and when it comes out, because that's a bit on the trailer that showed it comes out and it's this big, like it's quite tall, but it's a bit chunky on the waist, and it's like because apparently as well is this right? It's caused because that's been in a darker area for longer, so it's evolution or whatever. Yeah, and it comes out. It's bullets aren't doing
again,
now.
it's how fungi works. It's if it is a dark, warm, damp area, it will grow more. Yeah.
Did you just quick side? Did you see the SNL skit of him, Pedro Pascal being Mario?
I didn't see it.
You need to watch it. It's funny as fuck because he's at a bar and people are like, we need to bring this, and he's like, let's go. And he's in the car at the end. He's like, let's do this. It's fucking hilarious. The car goes. I think it's just regular mushrooms or whatever it is. But yeah, when it comes out and it rips the dude's head off, like it's just raw and it's fucking everybody up. Because I don't think throughout that whole scene, the runners stopped coming out the ground. I think they kept coming and coming. I don't think there was a moment where they okay, that's all them out now. It still kept like they're going. The start of it, it's just loads of going like, to a bit less, and then the girl at the end, the one that was getting Ellie in the car, is on a sign or whatever behind her, and she beats her to death and fucking going nuts. And you're like, what the fuck? And then thank God they didn't notice Joel and that because they managed to fuck right off and get out of the scenario. But then it's when you get to a quiet bit area. And then you find out that he's like, God, what does he say to her? What does Henry say to her? Do you still keep a part of yourself when you turn or some shit, or do you still keep a part of yourself when you think he shows her? Because it's on his leg, isn't it? Yeah. She's like, and then they wake up the next morning and all the chaos ensues, but they manage to bury him, and she takes his sign. And what did she write on the sign?
I'm sorry.
I'd say I'm sorry. Yeah, because she. Because she wanted to cure him, but she couldn't. She was fucking mate. I mean, it's doing my head how much it just kills you inside. And if I'm like this over characters that are over 2 seconds,
how do you think playing the game was
mate,
first time?
I'm sweating thinking of it.
It was torture playing the game.
I'm not ready to watch Joel go. I'm not. I'm ready. Mate, I've had some horrible moments. Andrew Garfield recently saving MJ, and fucking Tony Stark dying. But oh my God, this Joel. It doesn't help the fact that I love Pedro as it is anyway.
I know.
But the good thing is, depends when he dies. I don't know if he's going to die this season or start next season. I don't know when.
It'll be season 2.
Right, okay, so we'll get that. I kind of want him to die now so that I can just be like, we've got the Mandalorian, okay? Mandalorian.
No, it'll be season 2.
I can't do with...
Which I think they're putting a script together now, so it won't be far off when it starts.
It can't take long to put a script together if they're just following the games.
If they're going to follow the games, it won't be far off putting the script together, and then I reckon we'll see it next year.
I'm going to watch every episode after he dies like that. It's brilliant, but John.
That's the thing I feel.
No, I know.
You were playing a character you didn't want to play. But then you get to realise her story, and it's like...
That part's been really weighing on my head, because you're forced to be this... It's like all of a sudden, when Nick Negan first got introduced and he took out Glenn, you're like, you fucking prick. But then all of a sudden, you just follow him, you're like, no, get away, what the fuck, she's fucking in it. But then you're like, oh, I get Negan. I'm with him now. So yeah, that part was playing on my mind a hell of a lot, because I'm not fucking... I don't know why I forced myself to watch multiple people play the game and get them scenarios. I was like watching their reactions, because there's a lot more people playing the game now, and they were reacting because obviously I'm assuming they didn't know, because I would have known if I didn't have you, and they were reacting like, what? What the fuck's going to be losing their mind in that? And I was like, no, Chris done this to me, you bastard, don't you fucking have it. I can't wait for the rest of the world to suffer. Oh. Did you see the viewership numbers as well? I think episode 1 was like 5 million, and then it's all the way up to like 12 or 15 million.
It keeps going up every week.
Yeah, because obviously people are getting wind of it, and they must binge watch the first few and then tune in weekly or whatever. It's honestly... Because I appreciate it's great watching... I still don't class them as zombies. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You're the expert.
Well, they've said they're not zombies.
Yeah, I don't like... But I'm just, for lack of a better word... It's a good zombie show. It's a good action show, but it's the fucking heart. That's the, for me, the proper.
That's the good thing about it, because you're not getting the full. It's not just constantly zombies running after you. And everything else. You get into you're getting like two characters who you've got to build a connection up between each other, and you're following their story.
And I've the way that Joel's done, not just from the show but from the game, he's so beautifully written. And I'm sorry, but it's going to be one of my standout scenes of my life. Is the shot from eyes to eyes of deadness and this reignitioning of his flame inside to. It's so fucking good, man. Honestly, it's so good. Like I said, I can't fully invest because I feel like you need to buy the source material first. Like I need to, because I'll never call myself a super fan because I've watched the show. I need to experience everything, even though I've watched people play the games and whatnot. Like to me, you will always be a bigger fan because you were there first, and you're my go-to guy. It's like it always used to do in my head when people watched fucking Iron Man and never read a comic. Went, I'm a massive Marvel fan. No, you're a movie fan.
Yeah.
Mate, I had a heartbreaking moment here.
Oh, yeah.
You would definitely get us killed in The Last of Us. Alright, so as he goes off with his bowl. He's obsessed with metal. But yeah, I think at some point I'm going to have to just be like, is it okay, Last of Us fan, if I just get like one Joel figure, please? Just because I fucking love him. And again, I'm going to probably say it till the day we die, mate. You still know better. I still think this is a better casting than Hugh Jackman. I know we can't say it for sure because Hugh Jackman never done it.
Yeah. But
I think Pedro Pascal was born for this role from what I've seen.
He's doing a good role. I can't argue what he's doing. He's doing a good role.
And mate, it's getting all the girls horny for him.
True.
And me.
Would Hugh have done a better job? We don't know.
Yeah, you can never truly answer it.
You don't know. But like I said, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
And again,
so I've got no issues.
You can correct me better, but every game clip I've seen, Pedro's just nailing every detail of who Joel is in the game. He's getting it so spot on. So is Ellie. Don't get us wrong, whatever her name is that's playing Ellie. But when I see the side-by-side clips, I'm like, it's as if you are the Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man casting and the Chris Evans. For me, that is it. But again, sorry to repeat myself, you have more of authority than me because you know more.
It's doing spot on. It's doing what the game did.
Mate.
It's just exploring a little bit more on certain characters and who they are and whatnot.
Do you mind that sometimes
I don't
it's
mind that.
away?
I don't mind that, except we didn't know who Kathy was. But she was a new person, new character.
Yeah.
But we've got a background of her, we know the crack with us, we know who was in charge of this group that was made in this town.
Yeah.
So it was one of the things.
Yeah. Mate, what the fuck? I am not ready as well for when this rat catcher guy comes. Well, thingy. The rat catcher, the one with the one on its leg and that, and the fucking people. Why is it called the rat catcher?
We won't see him for a while.
That dude's fucking. One falls off its fucking leg for fuck's sake, and you have to go through the fucking vents, and it's there. And you're like,
we won't see him for a while.
Why is it in that fight? I know it's gonna be. Sorry, I'm jumping way ahead. Why does it run away? Because once you kill the rat catcher and the whatever the fuck it is, and the leg one falls off, why is it trying to run away? Because obviously, I know there's moments where it fights you because you're hitting it because you're not Ellie in that fight, are you?
No,
yeah. And you're punching it, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are you stabbing it or shooting it or whatever? But it's like, it has like a tussle, then it'll run away again. I'm like, why the fuck's this one running away? What's different about that one? Exactly, mate. I'm confused as well. I'm so confused. There's no, mate, this is the first time I'm never going to score a couple of reviews for me on this because you don't need to ask my score at all. I think it's self-explanatory. I really do. 0 out of 10, piece of shit. No, I'm joking. I can't even give it a number.
It's ticking all the right boxes for me. I'm loving it. I really am.
I've never seen like not that you'd class it as nerdy, but like, you know, gaming, like gamer shit completely take over.
No.
Like,
it's the first for this to be not only just as good as the games, but just some people who never played the games whatsoever, who's not into computer games, fall in love with it.
The only one, if it happens how you explained before in the news, that can maybe challenge it in the future would maybe be Gears of War, because I don't know how big, but that's the only next time that I can see a game getting into an adaptation. like challenging it because they'll go, hang on, look how they did The Last of Us.
Yeah.
We should do the Gears of War. Not
So
like The Last of Us.
it's different when you say a thing when you compare it to like Pikachu in the series.
Yeah, but that's got its set.
But that's its.
Yeah,
thing.
that can't appeal to
Yeah.
everybody. Even though I was surprised that the amount of people that come back to me and watch it, I was actually alright, just a good little kids film.
Yeah.
But no, I completely agree with you. You can't, even Mario to a certain extent, we've all, been touched by Mario in some way, shape or form. And it'll be a big film, an amazing film.
Even the Sonic.
Even the Sonic, but it has its...
Yeah.
Has its lane, whereas The Last of Us can... But again, The Last of Us can do more as well, though it has a benefit of Sonic and Mario will be like, yeah, that was fun, awesome. I played Mario as a kid. We'll go on. Whereas The Last of Us will impact you like here and how you could interact with shit and people and how your emotions are. And,
your emotions are up and down with
yeah.
this. Playing the video games 1 and 2, your emotions are up and down. One minute you're laughing and you're fucking crying, it lies out.
Even though that moment, just because you brought it up, that moment where Tails covers Sonic with his tail to keep him warm, because I love me some Tails. But yeah, Last of Us. That's all I want to do. It's one of them ones where it ends and you're like, no, because it's obviously I've had few shots. Sons of Anarchy did it, The Walking Dead. I did it with Lost, but there's a few shots like Pokemon Trainer. Like, also to get ready for next episode. Whereas this ends, I'm like, bless you. So yeah, bless you. I even took the intention of the dog. Look at, alright, charge the fucking door now. So what the fuck's going on here? What was that noise? It was
we've got 3 episodes left.
Oh yeah, 5, 6, 7. Oh, is it only 8 episodes?
No.
We're on episode 5.
4 episodes left.
Okay, don't rob me of an episode, mate. Don't
4
do
episodes left. Yeah.
Not
Right, so where do we go after this? I'm trying to think.
Well, they've literally, that's it. Our last sequence is Ellie's walking down the road. Joel's just buried the brothers.
Yeah.
So it would be the next, whatever. Who's the next big monster to come after this bloater? Or is it just more bloaters and clickers and stuff?
More bloaters and clickers.
Right.
Like I say, we should possibly see Tommy towards the end of the next episode.
Well, yeah, that's the thing we missed out. Joel did state that he's going to go find his brother because he can have a bit of information and whatnot, and he can help out with shit.
Yeah, so we should see Tommy soon.
Yeah, I want to get to. I like to, especially when Joel described about how he wants to play hero, and he's got this thing about how he wants to save people and shit. I want to know. I want to see how.
Like I say, he's not part of Fedra anymore. He's not part of the sorry, not the Fedra. He's not part of the Fireflies anymore because they're just all faded out. So he's kind of set up his own little community kind of situation, which we'll get to see.
Yeah, because I'm about to say I only got the taste of him in episode 1, so I want to see how he's evolved as well, what he looks like, what he's got going with him, and I assume it was still with the same actor from the first episode.
I'm assuming so.
Providing it wouldn't make sense if we didn't get him to follow the game so much. It's quite a significant part of the game, is that right?
Yeah.
Meeting him, so I can't see how.
Because he plays a big role in the second game. To be fair, Tommy.
Do you play as him?
No.
No, he's just an NPC.
Yeah, he's there.
But are you doing missions and stuff? I know he's there. Bring it up, mate. All right, fuck off. Is he there when you're doing missions or out like with you and stuff?
In the second game, he is there because
Is he Team Abby then, or is he Team? He won't be Team Abby, will he?
No, but you and Joel Tommy and Joel save Abby, which makes it even.
Yeah, no, I know, mate. I know. Because like I said, they go into that room and they're all they're talking and whatnot. Yeah. You think, I think grab him. You're like, well, what do you mean grab him? Get the fuck off him. But another bad thing is that when I'm rewatching the game stuff, this is where I've maybe got it wrong because I'm doing the show first. Is I'm seeing Pedro Pascal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it that way. It's stupid, I know. What are you kicking off for? Do you know what he was doing yesterday? He had his nose pressed up against the wall like that and he's going... Literally, because I was laying on here after work just having a fag and having a coffee and that. And just on the walls, there's an out there and he's like... Honestly, I know people say it all the time, my dog's really weird and silly. That dog is fucking not wired right. He really isn't. But is there any more thoughts, shit to say or any...
No, like I said, we've gone through it. We're all hunky-dory, we're up to date.
Episode 6. That was just to take away from what the show is and thingies. And again, I know they're not, but I'm just lack of a better word. That was one of the best zombie breakout fight scenes I've ever seen as well. Just the way that it was tension between two groups, car noise. What the fuck's that noise? The thingy, and then because it literally went from silence for a split sec to they're over another war now.
You just got to see the fucking big bloater.
Yeah, he knew he was a G as well. That man might as well walked out with his hat like that and a chain because he just walked out like that, like so you know. He walked out like a pure. He was Brock Lesnar. He just walked out. You know, yeah, touching me, son. Like all of you. Like even the way he looked at the guy with the gun, like he's just like, you ain't gonna do shit, mate. I'll come here. I'm going with your head.
Yeah. So,
which is quite mad because that's another reason why he's, the bloke obviously had no intention of spreading the infection. He just wanted to kill.
Yeah.
Which is mad, because obviously I thought with them being a fun guy in a network, they just want to keep spreading it. He's like, I ain't done with that pussy ass shit, I'm ripping heads off. See you later.
I know.
It was fucking...
But the bloater is more just a destroyer.
Is it just one bloater? Or is it multiple?
There's a few in the game, but I don't know how many they're going to put in the series.
Are they spread out in the game?
Yeah.
Right, so you mostly deal with... Because even though he was a G and I wouldn't like to fight him, the clickers are the ones that still like fairly made me... Because... he was all mushroomy, whereas they still have their human bits and mushroom parts like sticking out.
There's a bit, I don't know if we're going to see it, but there's a bit where you've got to go through a tunnel and half of it's flooded, and because obviously Ellie can't swim, you've got to like cheese sticks to the side, but you've got to go a different way, and they get through it all and everything else, and there's two big fucking bloaters at the other end, as well as there's also a few clickers.
So you have to deal with that shit.
So you gotta do all that shit.
I couldn't. Give me Shaun of the Dead zombie shit any day of the week because I feel like I can deal with that. I ain't dealing with this, especially when they're fucking charging like mushrooms. I hate fucking mold. Go away. I need to tag you in a YouTube channel actually called North of the Border. He just makes, mate, it's so good. He just makes stuff out of clay like figures and that. And he did like a Last of Us one, and he did a Mario crossover with one where it was Princess Peach and Mario behind Reno, like those bricks that he hits. Like one of them had fallen, and Luigi was infected, so he had the mushroom and that coming out, and he's thinking it's so good the way he does it. But he does like Pokemon shit, and he turns them into actual monsters. And he is so good the way that he fucking makes shit.
Isn't it?
But I'll have to tag you in that, yeah. So fucking... I was like, oh my... Because obviously, I know I've made the joke before, but it really is like a fucked up Mario world in a way, The Last of Us. And I love that connection, so whenever I can connect the two, I always will. And I think that's why Pedro Pascal did that skit. You're going to have to watch that video. No, fucking, before you go, I'm going to put it on. It's like 2 minutes long. But yeah, we'll leave it there then. I'm not even rating it. I don't need to, because...
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Chris is second in that, I think. But I guess this is goodbye for now.
Yeah.
For Pedro Pascal. See you soon, but not for long.
I'll have another episode shortly.
Yeah, back on... It didn't come out till Saturday in Britain, did it? It was supposed to be the Friday. I watched it on the Friday online, and then Teresa went to go watch it. I was like, oh no, it's Saturday one.
I went to watch it on the Friday on Sky, where I couldn't find it.
It said Saturday on Sky somewhere.
I didn't watch it until the Monday.
Oh, so you kind of kept it its normal rhythm then.
But now Sky's gone, I can watch it on Sunday.
Yeah.
On live.
Yeah, which one are you? Oh, we won't say. But visual, thank you for listening. Keep on keeping on.
As always, love you back.
I got a nice little shot of I didn't realise we always recording these podcasts. Over there, we got Wolverine's bulge and his chest sticking out.
Fair enough.
I mean, we both like Hugh Jackman, so fuck it.